What's up everyone, I'm XDRX and today I'm bringing you more or less of a news-esque video. Why? Well, because I want to upload content relevant to what I want my channel to be about. Up until now, I've just been having some laughs playing games with friends like Dark Souls 3 and Payday 2. The game I've been anticipating for the longest time is actually what you're watching right now. This is old footage from the Uncharted 4 stress test, so I wanted to share some information and some opinions on Naughty Dog affairs. That being the fact that what could be the last Uncharted game will be released in less than a week, and that The Last of Us 2 could be announced at E3. So first and foremost, I will be streaming the campaign of Uncharted 4 over on Twitch when I get it, which should be about midnight of release day. Click the link in the description to be taken over to my channel. This playthrough will be a blind playthrough. Besides what I saw through the stress test and the gameplay footage that was revealed at the E3 Sony press conference, I know absolutely nothing, and I plan on going into the game knowing nothing about the plot. I know the trophy list was revealed, but I haven't looked at it and I won't look at it. When I finally do get Uncharted 4, it will be very, very bittersweet. Uncharted Drake's Fortune was my first PS3 game. The idea that there won't be another canon Uncharted game after that really saddens me. But it does make room for a new IP, or another sequel which we may actually be getting already. Bruce Straley and I, my directing partner, came on to Uncharted 4. We were working on prototypes for different ideas within the Last of Us universe. Our next focus is the single-player Uncharted 4 DLC, and then, once we have enough resources, resurrect all those prototypes, see where we're at, see where the team's at, what they're excited for, and go from there. So we got 2 bits of information out of that quote. Uncharted 4 will have single-player DLC. This will be a first for Naughty Dog, I believe. I know they did Left Behind, but that was for the universe in The Last of Us. I don't think they ever made a single-player DLC for Uncharted. I personally have more mixed feelings on the whole idea. Last time they did anything close to an additional story for the Uncharted universe was that god-awful co-op story mode for a multiplayer that could either be played locally or with randoms online, and let's face it, that was not the best story, nor did it make any fucking sense. I mean, like, it was implied in Uncharted 2 that Flynn died. A goddamn grenade blew up inches from him. Eddie was dragged into a crack in the ground by a descendant, and Lazarevich was brutalized by Guardians. I figured that story was made hastily, but Christ. The only time people played that was to get the small star by their name in the multiplayer. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll do it right like how they did Left Behind, which I can see as a possibility, as there are many mechanics in Uncharted 4 that were never there before, but seem heavily inspired by The Last of Us gameplay. I don't know. We'll see May 10th. The second bit of information we got from that was that The Last of Us 2 was being brainstormed by Straley and Druckmann. In another quote, Druckmann says, "When Straley and I moved over to Uncharted 4, we were brainstorming ideas for The Last of Us 2. We were brainstorming new main characters, ideas for The Last of Us 2 with Joel and Ellie, ideas for a sci-fi game, ideas for a fantasy game, and building prototypes for each one of those ideas. And just as we were getting close to settling or narrowing that list down, we were asked to work on Uncharted 4. So we definitely know The Last of Us 2 is on the minds of Naughty Dog staff, just not how they're going to go about doing it. The game could very well be in development already. I personally don't know how they're going to do it. A lot of people feel as if The Last of Us doesn't need a sequel, or at the very least Joel and Ellie's story was great as is. It doesn't need to be expanded upon in a sequel. However, Joel and Ellie are 2 of the most beloved characters in all of gaming. Would a sequel without Joel and Ellie really feel like The Last of Us? I'm not doubting Naughty Dog, I'm just a bit concerned with how they're going to go about doing it, seeing as how they're the only devs I will throw all my hard-earned money at. Even though it's been 3 years and the game is at most in the early stages of development, it almost feels like it was too soon to announce something like that, even if it really isn't. The Uncharted games were released 2 years apart from each other, so it makes sense, I guess. What I really want from Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2 is another factions type of multiplayer, because that multiplayer was one of the funnest I've ever played, ever. It was really an underrated MP that no one really talked about. I just hope with this installment, they add a co-op arena with waves of infected that get harder as you all stay alive longer. Like wave 1 is 1 to 15 runners, and wave 10 is like 3 bloaters, 6 clickers, and 20 to 30 runners. And the most difficult infected drop better when you kill them, like better weapons or ammo or bombs. Would that not be the funnest co-op ever? Now, ever since I finished The Last of Us in 2013, I've been thinking about how a sequel would go, or how I would want it to play out. Both for a sequel and the rumored movie, I guess. The only thing I get when I brainstorm is this. A random guy we'll call Bob, for simplicity's sake, is a survivor much like Joel. Bob survives with his kids and his wife. Bob wasn't lucky enough to get his family into a QZ. 20 years pass and him and his wife and his kids are DIY survivalist warriors. They have skills and ample gear. They unfortunately get picked up by hunters. The wife is being held captive. The hunters don't give them a choice but to become one of them. The children don't like it, but their father tells them to go with it. There's power in numbers. One day, everyone is in an intense firefight with some random they're trying to capture. And this random kills every fucking hunter in the area. The father's about to engage when he sees the corpses of his children on the street. He is completely void of feeling until he hears a voice from behind a garage door. Fucking hunters. You see, this could have been us. That was a really bad Joel impression, but you guys get what I'm going with that. That's really all I got. So what are you guys most looking forward to in Uncharted 4? The MP? The campaign? What are you hoping for from E3? Are you excited, or are you concerned for the possibility of The Last of Us 2? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later.